Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and this is the complete March 1st, 2023 LEGO Speed Champions wave, where we're getting 4 new sets, 5 new vehicles, and a ton of amazing new LEGO pieces. Now, Speed Champions in its 8 stud wide format has been going on for several years now, and you can see all of the other 8 stud wide Speed Champions cars here, but these are honestly some of the best, and that's why today I have brought you a mega review of all 4 brand new March 1st, 2023 LEGO Speed Champion sets. Now, all of these sets were provided to me by the LEGO Ambassador Network. However, all the opinions expressed in this review are my own, and I'm really excited to showcase every single one of these vehicles for you in one mega review. Now, over the course of the past few weeks, I have been putting out individual reviews of each and every one of the individual sets. So if you're only interested in seeing just 1 or 2 of the individual sets, definitely go check those out in the playlist linked below. However, if you want to see what everything has to be offered by LEGO for Speed Champions in March, then you're at the right place, and let's, without further ado, get into the review.
Alright, and here we have it. This is the entire March 1st, 2023 LEGO Speed Champions lineup. Now, previously I published individual reviews of each of these vehicles, so if you want to go in depth into every one of them, do go check out the playlist linked in the description below. We're going to be doing something different with this mega review. Usually for mega reviews, I just take all of my individual car reviews and just stick them in one massive multi-hour long video and then share my thoughts at the end. But that feels a little redundant to me if the content is already out there, so if you want to see me just talk about this or just talk about this, just go check out the review in the description below, and this will be more of a holistic look at the entire wave as a whole. So let's take a look at it right now. First off, we have the 2-pack. This is for retailing for $35, the McLaren Solus GT and the McLaren F1 LM. We have the Pagani Utopia. We've got the Ferrari 812 Competizione, and we have the Porsche 963. Each of the individual cars retails for $25, which is a recent price increase compared to previous Speed Champions vehicles, which previously retailed for $20, and the 2-pack retails at a very nice and surprising $35, making it one of the best price sets on this list, and meaning that if you value each of the cars at $25, which LEGO is valuing all of these other cars at $25 nowadays, you're basically saving $15 when you buy this set, which is really nice. So, I just want to talk a little bit about the new pieces in these sets first. I went very in-depth into what I thought about the brand new pieces and the special new recolors in my previous reviews of the Speed Champions cars. Most notably in the review of the Pagani Utopia, I spent a long time talking about each of the new pieces, so I won't spend too much time right now because you can just go check out that review if you want to hear it. But in essence, I feel like the new studs on the side curve piece is so useful. Interesting how LEGO is expanding the library of rounded tiles and plates. These used to be only 1x2s, but now we have 1x3s and 1x4s. The new slope piece is not super useful to me, but it exists, it's nice, and it's nice to get recolors of the half hemisphere piece in trans clear as well as the Aston Martin headlight piece as well. Of course, these are not all of the new pieces and recolors, just the ones that I found interesting for building, and we'll be talking about some of the other new pieces and recolors later on in this review. But without further ado, let's just take a look at it, and I definitely will be sharing my ranking and overall thoughts on all 5 of these vehicles, and of course, all 4 of these sets near the end of the video, so stay tuned if you want to see that. I want to start off in the order that I reviewed these in because you all voted for what order I should review them in. Unfortunately, my embargo date for this one changed, so I was not allowed to post a review on this set until much later, but I basically reviewed the rest of them in the order that you voted. So we'll start off with the most popular one, the Pagani Utopia. So this was easily one of the highlights of the wave. A lot of people were really excited for this for good reason, because this is a really nice looking sports car. I think a lot of people are fans of the car in general. When it was first revealed last September of 2022, people just wanted to see LEGO builds of the car, and this absolutely delivers. The most impressive thing to me was how they were able to really capture the shaping of the curvature of the vehicle, especially around the back. Although it doesn't come without a few compromises, because if you just set it down wrong or it bumps something, it's really easy to have that bump upwards by accident. If you get this misaligned, then you have to push the headlights back in to make sure these are smooth, just ever so slightly. I do wish it was fixed just a little bit more securely. Again, I am no LEGO build expert. I don't know how they could have fixed that more securely. Kind of wobbles up and down, but you know what? It is what it is, and that is only my major con about the car. Otherwise, the building techniques are phenomenal. They made great usage of these new sloping pieces, which are really interesting parts to get. Kind of odd the way that they are shaped, but you know, they're useful. I'm excited to see them use these pieces for other stuff, so that is very cool to see. And overall, one of the most impressive looking vehicles of the wave, and I definitely see why people like it. It just looks really good. The headlights just being prints though, I don't really know. I feel like maybe they're getting to the point when they can start doing brick-built headlights for stuff like this. I feel like Speed Champions is getting there. That's the only thing they need to do next to really make these absolutely accurate, so we'll see. But overall, really nice vehicle. It's a nice two-seater, and you've got minifigure in the cockpit there with a nice recolor of the Lego Harry Potter hairpiece, which is done in dark orange, which is very cool. The first time we've gotten a recolor of that piece in dark orange, so that's nice. Moving onwards to the next vehicle that you all voted for me to review, we've got the two-pack here, so the McLaren Solus GT and the F1 LM. So overall, these were really interesting builds, and I think easily my favorite of the bunch. Not to get too ahead of myself when we get into rankings, but both of these cars were expertly shaped. You have so many crazy building techniques being used, such as integrating a LEGO Technic mini propeller piece, most people know it as the Thanos sword piece they used in the Avengers sets, into the back of the vehicle here just for a tiny little fin to be sticking out of the back. That was very impressive. Like how these are sloped down. One thing I didn't mention in the individual review is that these are printed, so you've got two printed kind of pieces right there, which are very nice. And overall, just a really impressive build featuring all unique shaping, and I love the way the curvature was accomplished here as well, with these pieces being mounted at an angle. That just looks really good to me. It is built very interestingly because it is just a single one-seater and has a bit of a different profile and silhouette compared to most cars. They have things done with completely different building techniques, which is really cool to get because I like it when Speed Champions does new stuff like this. Overall, definitely one of my favorite cars. I think this might be one of my favorites, but again, we'll talk about the rankings later on. Its counterpart is maybe a little bit less exciting for me, but it is still really good and one of the best shaped cars. My least favorite thing about it is the very exposed Technic pin here. Definitely feels like, I mean, you could wobble it up and down. It is now very obviously mounted on a pin, so would have preferred if they were able to mount this with a different technique or hid the pin a little bit better. Again, I'm no LEGO designer expert, so I'm sure they tried a lot of things and eventually landed up on this. It's just kind of one thing that bugs me a little bit because it is very obviously just a pin on the side. Otherwise though, the shaping is phenomenal. I like the headlight technique here being used with the 1x1 bricks just being mounted at an angle. You have a really nice construction on the back here. Surprisingly advanced. You've got studs on the side, studs upside down, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. So impressive how that is done. And I like the little printed tile that says McLaren here too. They printed it on the thin part of a plate there, which is very cool. Moving onwards to the next vehicle that you wanted to see me review, we have the Ferrari 812 Competizione. This is a really nice build. You have the sloped car piece right here, so this is all on a slope, which is very cool. And I think the most impressive thing to me was the way the back piece was mounted here. Yeah, it was a pain to get those stickers on, but it's really cool in the way that this is done because you have studs on the side, studs upside down, to really just mount this integrated fin into the back of the car itself. Looking at it from a distance, you don't even really notice it. You have to look at it from the back to see just how good this is done. Everything is done at a very special angle where it's just perfectly at the right position. The LEGO Speed Champions designers are wizards. I mean, this is just blows my mind the way this is done. So big fan of this particular building technique. It looks really cool. It's accomplished in a really nice fashion. And overall, just one of the best sets that we've gotten from Speed Champions overall in terms of building techniques. And lastly, we can take a look at the final set here, which is the Porsche. This is interesting, and I think this, kind of my opinion on this has flipped. When I first got these sets, this was the one I was most excited to build. I like it when Speed Champions does more unique styles of vehicles like these crazy looking race cars, and I was really excited to see what crazy building techniques they would do here. And the answer was not that many. Like, the shaping's good, don't get me wrong. It looks right. But a lot of the construction is just stacking bricks front and back, up and down, so this is all just stacking bricks here. I mean, you've got like a little bit of studs on the side, but nothing crazy, like just stacking bricks here. Sure, this is also mounted on the side, but the building process for this was a lot simpler than I've come to expect than other Speed Champions cars. And I do want to emphasize that that is not a bad thing. I don't think things need to be needlessly overcomplicated. If they could accomplish this style of car build, which clearly they have, using basically just standard building techniques, then I applaud them for it. That's honestly even more impressive than having to do something absolutely crazy and wild. I just feel like I had a lot of expectations for the build being a really interesting, innovative build going in, and I just thought, I mean, there were a couple of things where I was like, huh, okay, that's neat, like how they were able to cover up the long fin piece by mounting pieces around it. We have seen it before though, and it was really good to get so many different copies of the new studs on the side building piece for curvature. But overall, I think this one was just okay. This was also the least popular one when I asked what people wanted to see reviewed, and I think I kind of get it now, because there's just a lot more going on with a lot of the other sets. Still, nice to get that new windscreen. I do like it, how it looks overall. Lots of stickers, that's a bit of a con. Yeah, lots of stickers, not really my favorite thing to see so many stickers in a build like this, but overall, still a really phenomenal set. This one though, I'm feeling the $25 price tag, and I really do wish that it was a little bit cheaper. And speaking of, now that we've taken a look at all the vehicles, let's talk price. So the prices of each individual car, bar these two, these are exceptionally priced, they're so good. Every single one of the cars is now $25, and it feels a little bit more justified in some versus others. I can kinda get it with this one. You have new molds, you have new prints, you have a lot of really good building techniques, a lot of development effort that went into making that. I mean, maybe. 22 would be really nice, but I can kind of see it with this. With this one, it starts going down a little bit. I think it really should be 22 at max, but I mean, 25 is just way too much for a standard type of vehicle like this, even with the cool building technique on the back. And then here, I mean, like, this is a very similar, I guess, car in terms of silhouette and thickness to this one. This is 25. Yeah, I'm not feeling it for this. This should be 20. I wish that LEGO would do variable prices for these and give us more bang for your buck, because at the end of the day, yes, a lot of insane development effort goes into these vehicles. It is so impressive how LEGO is able to make these so detailed and so good. They are able to introduce all sorts of new molds, they're able to introduce new prints, new crazy building techniques, unlike anything that you've ever seen before. But that comes at a cost, and it is a premium product for a premium price, like what I said in my review of this car right here, and that premium price just feels a little bit too high for me personally. Of course, I do want to hear what folks think. If you think $25 is perfectly fair for these, then by all means, go out and get them, and if people continue to buy these for $25, LEGO will keep selling them at $25. It's as simple as that. However, I do hope that LEGO will eventually mark these down a little bit. I hope that they go on sale. Previous Speed Champion sets did go on sale for about $5 off, which would put these at the sweet spot. If this went on sale, that would be an absolute steal. I already think it's kind of a steal for $35. This is easily the best price set. Like, okay, you take this. This feels like it has more pieces than, like, at least this. It feels like it has more pieces as a car by itself than some of these other cars here. If you consider this to be $25, this is like $10? No, that's crazy. So $35 for both of these. I was shocked when I saw the price. Like, did somebody at LEGO forget to mark them up for the price increases? I don't know. The price of this is just so good. The 2-pack is easily worth it. And getting into my reviews and ranking of the different vehicles, I would go well, in terms of sets. Let's mark it in terms of sets and value, and then we'll talk about just the builds, completely ignoring value. In terms of the sets, in terms of value, best value here, and then we go here, here, and here, which I swear is not just because that was the order that people wanted me to review them. Like, that is actually, like, this is the best, second best, third, and then fourth, in my opinion. Of course, I do want to hear yours. But in terms of the vehicles, this is going to be a little bit trickier. I think I am most impressed by this one. Building techniques for here was so cool. Love how these are sloped downwards. Just really, really cool overall. I like the shaping of the windscreen. I mean, it's the same one used here, but I do like the shaping a lot here. So I think this is my number one. Number two, the Pagani Utopia is just really cool. I love the way this looks as a vehicle in real life. I like the way it looks as a LEGO car. Easy number two for me. It's tricky. Number three would, I mean, it maybe be a tie between these two. I love the shaping on this, but I don't love that exposed Technic pin. I don't love how you can oh, there, see that just broke off. I don't love how fragile that this is. In terms of if you bump it, pieces can come off or it can get misaligned, and it gets kind of annoying to put back on. So I think I'm gonna have to say number three vehicle-wise is here. And then four, but it's hard. Like these would share number three, and then this one is coming in last. Nothing wrong with this one per se, just not the most interesting build. Didn't really do a lot for me. Nice to get those pieces in clear though. And this is how I would rank them from best to worst, but like worst is still better than most Lego cars Lego's ever put out in like the history of the company. It's almost like comparing the worst movie out of like a really good movie trilogy. Yeah, like one of them is gonna be the worst, but it's still really good and better than most movies out there. That's how I feel about these cars. The worst one is still one of the best Lego builds ever. And honestly, Speed Champions continues to just blow me away in terms of their design philosophies, in terms of how they're able to accurately reflect real-world vehicles at a minifigure scale, how well they scale with minifigures. It's just so impressive, the amount of detail that goes into every single one of these vehicles. I'm a huge fan of the line. I would have bought these. I mean, I buy almost every Lego set, but I would have bought these and built them first. Like that's how important they are to me. I would have bought them and built them immediately if I had the chance, if Lego did not send me these from the Lego Ambassador Network. So I'm a fan of Speed Champions. Obviously, they sent it to me because I think they know that I'm a fan of the line, so they were like, yeah, you can review these, so thank you, Lego, for doing that. But these are just so good. I love how they're done. It's just the price. $25 is way, way, way too much for this. It is a little bit more believable for this one, a lot more believable for this, but still, across all three of the individual cars, $25 is way too much, and I hope that people will send a message to Lego that that is too much money to pay for these cars. Just, again, in my opinion. If you feel like the development process and new molds and new prints and the amount of detail that goes into these premium products is worth $25, I don't blame you. I mean, to me as a consumer, I believe that I would easily pay $25 for each of these vehicles. But looking at it objectively and comparing it against other products in Lego's portfolio, it's a little much. That's all I have to say. Of course, I am very, very excited to hear your comments and thoughts on this lineup. It's a really good lineup. This may be the best wave of Speed Champions we've ever gotten from Lego, ever. I think that this is probably, they've given us some of the best vehicles yet. So, super, super exciting stuff. March 1st is right around the corner, so I'd be super excited to hear what folks have planned to get. If you're watching this after these sets have already been released, let me know in the comments which ones you did get. This is a really, really cool wave, really cool lineup of vehicles, and one of the best that LEGO has ever done. So well done to the Speed Champions team and theme. I love it, and keep making more great cars, and I will keep showing up to get them. That's all for now for this mega review.
Alright, and with that, we have summed up our look at all 4 brand new March 1st, 2023 LEGO Speed Champions vehicles. This is a really good wave. Some people are calling it the best wave of 8 stud-wide Speed Champions cars yet, but you decide. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that this is the best wave we've gotten so far? Are there any other waves you think have been better? I certainly think that with the brand new pieces introduced for these vehicles, this has been one of the best waves yet. But of course, do let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed our look at all of the 5 individual vehicles for Speed Champions March 2023. And of course, let me know what are your favorites down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for tuning into Duckbricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Thank you so much, and check out the links below for ways to support the Duckbricks channel with our Brickling and Big Cartel stores selling LEGO and Bionicle related items. And of course, all the support goes directly into the Duckbricks channel, so I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to stay tuned for even more. Bye for now.